Cannery Row, Chapter 13, Part 3 of Chapter 13. Mac considered this reasoning. "Maybe you're right," he said at last, "but suppose we give him something except whiskey, maybe cufflinks with his initials." "Oh, horseshit," said Hazel. "Doc don't want stuff like that." The night was in by now, and the stars were white in the sky. Hazel fed the fire, and it put a little room of light on the beach. Over the hill a fox was barking sharply, and now in the night the smell of sage came down from the hills. The water chuckled on the stones where it went out of the deep pool. Mac was mulling over the last piece of reasoning when the sound of footsteps on the ground made them turn. A man dark and large stalked near, and he had a shotgun over his arm, and a pointer walked shyly and delicately at his heel. "What the hell are you doing here?" he asked. "Nothing," said Mac. "The land's posted. No fishing, hunting, fires, camping. Now you just pack up and put that fire out and get off this land." Mac stood up humbly. "I didn't know, Captain," he said. "Honest, we never seen the sign, Captain." "There's signs all over. You couldn't have missed them." "Look, Captain, we made a mistake and we're sorry," said Mac. He paused and looked closely at the slouching figure. "You are a military man, aren't you, sir? I can always tell. Military men don't carry a shoulders the same as ordinary people. I was in the army so long, I can always tell." Imperceptibly, the shoulders of the man straightened, nothing obvious, but he held himself differently. "I don't allow fires on my place," he said. "Well, we're sorry," said Mac. "We'll get right out, Captain. You see, we're working for some scientists. We're trying to get some frogs. They're working on cancer, and we're helping out getting some frogs." The man hesitated for a moment. "What do they do with the frogs?" he asked. "Well, sir," said Mac, "they give cancer to the frogs, and then they can study and experiment, and they got it nearly licked if they can just get some frogs. But if you don't want us on your land, Captain, we'll get right out. Never would have come in if we knew." Suddenly Mac seemed to see the pointer for the first time. "By God, that's a fine-looking bitch," he said enthusiastically. "She looks like Nola, that win the field trials in Virginia last year. She's a Virginia dog, Captain." The captain hesitated, and then he lied. "Yes," he said shortly, "she's lame. Tick got her right on her shoulder." Mac was instantly solicitous. "Mind if I look, Captain?" "Come, girl, come on, girl." The pointer looked up at her master and then sidled up to Mac. "Pile on some twigs so I can see," he said to Hazel. "It's up where she can't lick it," said the captain, and he leaned over Mac's shoulder to look. Mac pressed some pus out of the evil-looking crater on the doc's shoulder. "I had a dog once, had a thing like this, and it went right in and killed him. She just had pups, didn't she?" "Yes," said the captain, 6. I put iodine on that place." "No," said Mac, "that won't draw. You got any Epsom salts up at your place?" "Yes, there's a big bottle." "Well, you make a hot poultice of some Epsom salts and put it on there. She's weak, you know, from the pups. Be a shame if she got sick now. You'd lose the pups, too." The pointer looked deep into Mac's eyes, and then she licked his hands. "Tell you what I'll do, Captain. I'll look after her myself. Epsom salt will do the trick. That's the best thing." The captain stroked the dog's head. "You know, I've got a pond up by the house that's so full of frogs I can't sleep nights. Why don't you look up there? They bellow all night. I'd be glad to get rid of them." "That's mighty nice of you," said Mac. "I'll bet those docs would thank you for that. But I'd like to get a poultice on this dog." He turned to the others. "You put out this fire," he said. "Make sure there ain't a spark left and clean up around. You don't want to leave no mess. And I and the captain will go and take care of Nola here. You fellows follow along when you cleared up." Mac and the captain walked away together. Hazel kicked the sand on the fire. "I bet Mac could have been president of the U.S. if he wanted," he said. "What could he do with it if he had it?" Jones asked. "There wouldn't be no fun in that."